one of the things that men don't pay attention to is also their blood, the strength of their blood. And we know that men use their blood a lot for your erectile function and even just day-to-day activities. And if you're constantly breathing in that heavy smoke, you're going to need to make sure that your blood is clean and that you constantly make sure that your iron intake is above what they say is the accepted norm. One of the things Dr. Layla Africa brought to light is the standards that they have for what a healthy person. So for example, what your hemoglobin level should be is taken or is based off the Caucasian, right? And in most cases, when it comes to medicine, it's the Caucasian male. It doesn't even take into consideration the Caucasian female, right? So when you go to the doctor, for example, as a man, and they say your iron is normal, you have to question these things. Is it normal for me as a melanated man? Is it normal for me? Is it serving me and my body's needs? And I would strongly suggest that it isn't. Your mineral level needs to be even more. You need to be having things like red grapes with seeds, key limes. Put key limes in your water, right? If you're a heavy smoker. Make sarsaparilla root, the liquid from the sarsaparilla root. You can use that as a base for all your smoothies. Okay. As a man. Cheney root as well. Well, fibroids is really a big thing among Black women, Caribbean, African Americans, and Africa. So if we look at what the textbook definition of a fibroid is, it's really what they call a non-cancerous growth that tends to form inside and out of the uterus. But I do believe one of the key ways that we're going to heal and really affect change for our bodies is that we have to redefine things for ourselves and in some cases outright reject these definitions that we're given. One of the problems and trends with medicine is that whenever there is emerging phenomenon that is becoming endemic or becoming excessive, the urge is to treat it as something that is not just strange, but also unknown. So we don't know what's causing this. All they're able to tell you is very, very vague reasons. 1 in 4 women have it. They mostly see it in women of African descent, and it's likely to be triggered by the presence of estrogen in the body. But that's not enough. And for me, this tendency of the medical fraternity to treat or define these illnesses in these mystified ways, it does three things, really. It robs us of our power because the message that is being sent is that it's something outside of you. It's something out of your control. It robs you of your power. That's the first thing, because the message that is being sent is that it's something that has come outside of you, almost to plague you. Something that is mystical, it's strange, almost like an alien invasion. The second thing is that it robs you of hope, because who knows what to do with aliens? Who knows what to do with the strange and the mystical, right? We know what to do with the natural. We know what to do with cause and effect. We know how to apply logic. But when things become mystical and, we just don't know what causes it, then it robs you of hope. And thirdly, and this is perhaps the most dangerous, it removes the possibility and the opportunity for us to take accountability of ourselves and what got us here. And so I like to redefine, I beg your pardon, I want to redefine fibroids as no different than any other modern day illness that are plaguing us. It's simply the manifestation of what we see in capitalism, Western capitalism, being overworked, overexposed to toxicity, and being far too removed from nature. Well, we're struggling with them because, number one, there is a global attack on the room, and there has to be. Nature is the ultimate representation of the feminine. And the more we move away from nature, is the more we violate femininity, violate true feminine energy. And we remove the space for women to really live their feminine truth. Now, what do I mean by that? If you look at grind culture, this idea that your value is intricately linked with how much you produce, how productive you are, that is not in alignment with the feminine. And if your goal as people is to be who can be more productive, team no sleep, let's grind, let's make this money, under this current system, the way the system is set up, in order for you to be successful or reach the pinnacle under this system, you're going to have to adapt ways and means that do not honor your rest, do not honor your nutrition, do not honor our need for community, for connection. And that is detrimental to the feminine. In addition to the physical practices, we also have to look at the practices that kind of culture will encourage when it comes to nutrition. People no longer have time to create their own meals. People no longer have time to engage even in small backyard farming. It's frowned upon because it's not seen as a part of upward mobility. It's not seen to be in line with corporate values. And so everything is overproduced, overprocessed, quick, easy, and toxic. So you may ask then, well, women everywhere are facing this. Why would it predominantly affect women of African descent? And the answer is simple. If you look at our history, the current state of events is most alien to us because it's the most far removed from our original cultural container. We come from societies where farming was prioritized, community was prioritized, children were raised with the help of the community. There wasn't this burden and the lie of the nuclear family where one woman is struggling by herself. There was the extended family. So when you have a group of women whose original cultural container is in direct contradiction to how they are living now, it's going to affect you on a cellular level, on a spiritual level, and ultimately it will manifest itself as dis-ease. And secondly, the thing that we don't talk about enough, our particular history is steeped in trauma. We have at least, and I'm being generous, 500 years of enduring assaults on our womb. And I'm speaking specifically about generational rape, forced birth. Many of our mothers and grandmothers became mothers against our will. We lost children against our will. We had to give up our own children. And people are being treated in this society for post-stress syndrome of things that happen in their childhood. So imagine if a human being can still be affected by trauma that he or she endured as a child. What is the magnitude of the trauma that Black women are experiencing or presenting as a result of 5 centuries of generational trauma, which is not only not being addressed, but is being worsened by modern day toxic habits. The way we treat fibroids is the way we got it, through our lifestyle, through our thoughts, through dealing with trauma, through embracing natural healing methodologies. That's going to include fasting. That's going to include hydrating the body properly with alkaline fruit, iron-rich herbs, sarsaparilla, elderberries, blue vervain, these things that are found in nature. But we have to be careful. We have to be careful in thinking that these are quick fixes, because they are not. There's a brethren who, I believe he coined the phrase that in order for us to heal, we have to go on the operating table of Mother Nature. And she requires sacrifice. She requires fasting, and she requires persistence. So it's not a matter of drinking a tea 3 times a day. It's going to come down to radically changing our self-care habits, because a lot of what we put on our hair, nails, skin are toxic. Or candles, or air fresheners, or environment, even our relationships. We really are going to have to take an honest and hard look at our daily life, our goals, what we've been taught. Reject the notion that you are incapable of healing yourself. The innate power of the feminine is to heal. And once we embrace that, the answers will become clear. We have to be careful with catchphrases, definitions, fads, labels, right? This is Jamaica. This is the land of Rasta. Rasta has been saying from time began that the way to live is to eat natural, right? Is to avoid what they used to say, we don't go to the Chinaman shop. We eat what we grow. Because the association with the Chinaman shop is processed food, right? So when we start to attach these fancy labels, again, it becomes something outside of you. So people are gonna tell you, who live in Jamaica, it's so hard to find vegan food. Yet they drive past the fruit stall with the man's fruit rotting. They're staring at so-called vegan food every day. They drive past it in traffic, and they will tell you it's so hard to find vegan food. Why? Because plant-based, when things become packaged, labeled, and become formed into fads, people start to look for the package. So people want to look and see a brick and mortar or a store marked plant-based food, welcome, come in. Right? And it's sad, because that's how the mind works, right? And they literally think they are thinking when they're simply reacting to stimuli. Because if you were thinking logically, you would understand that if you're no longer eating meat, all it means is that you're now eating fruits, vegetables, grains, and seeds. You don't need a store for that. You don't need a movement for that. If you're in Jamaica, we already had that movement, right? So people stop because, again, they have been taught to view things outside of themselves. People will say, oh, I don't eat vegan food. You've never fried a roast breadfruit? You've never had a fried plantain? You've never had a handful of nuts? That's a vegan snack. Yes? So once we understand that definition, a lot of these definitions are simply designed to market to you and to create movements. You don't need to be part of a movement to eat natural. You are an organic being. Eating natural is your birthright. It's the most natural thing you can do. When the trees bear fruit, if you don't pick them in time, they throw them at you. They throw them on the ground. It's the most natural way of being. So people give up on the journey because they overcomplicate it and they overthink it. you have to commit yourself to drinking the herbs. And when I say herbs, I'm not talking only about marijuana. I'm talking about alkaline-rich herbs. We all may have heard of Dr. Sebi, and he preached this heavily, and I'm a firm believer, and I've seen it work personally. Sarsaparilla root, iron-rich herbs, blue vervain. We have Jamaican dog blood for women, elderberries, burdock root, yellow dock root, sea moss. We need to find ways to make these things. We need to arrive at a state where we're no longer treating herbs as though they're medicine and treat them as though they're food. So you wake up in the morning, instead of having a cup of hot chocolate, have a cup of sarsaparilla, right? Learn to add these herbs. Like elderberries is a wonderful herb that you can add to your water. It alkalizes the water, it adds minerals. You can add key limes. Just small, simple steps that we can incorporate into our daily lives rather than seeing it as something you consume when you're sick. Enjoy what Mother Nature has to offer. So the herbs are the first thing. The second thing is hydration. And I'm not talking about 8 glasses a day. I'm talking about hydration from watermelon, cantaloupe, cucumbers, grapes with seeds, papaya, soursop, sweet sop. These are the best ways to hydrate the body through fruits, alkaline fruits. You consume that for breakfast, you consume that as a majority of your meals. That's a great way to start. Fasting too. A lot of our problems can be eliminated if we eat less. Every culture, every Eastern and ancient culture on this planet incorporates fasting as a central part of not just your spiritual well-being, but your physical well-being, because they're all linked. You can't say you believe in God, but you are not. You are violating your body, right? The way you treat your body is the ultimate representation of the God you say you believe in. So if you are truly spiritual, then you should practice fasting, because fasting is a way of honoring the body, and it's one of the quickest, cheapest modalities of healing. You can't afford the herbs, you can't afford the fancy green juices, stop eating. Okay, I think the most important thing is what you eat. And that's because what you eat will affect the other two. What you eat is going to have a significant effect on your quality of sleep, your ability to sleep, and what the body is able to do while you sleep. Because a big part of sleep is your body's time to rejuvenate the cells. It's your body's time to utilize the minerals that it got in the day to address the issues that you are lacking in. So if there are no minerals, if you're consuming food that's going to interrupt your sleep or not let you get the quality of sleep that you need, then there's no point. There's no point in trying to get sleep if all you've had all day is high processed sugar, caffeine, and starch. What's the point? Similarly, what will be your gains in the gym or working out if your body isn't properly nourished, right? So the nourishment is the most important thing. And it's not just what you eat, it's what you refrain from eating. Because a lot of people get misled and they develop a false sense of security by saying, oh, I eat this, I eat that, I eat this. Yeah, but you also drink rum every night. You also eat candy bars every day. So that alkaline smoothie you had is of no moment. You can't consume the cure and the poison. I would definitely suggest that you embark on a 30 to 90 day fruit fast or fruit feast, right? The fruits are very, very healing to the womb. The womb loves hydration and it loves the minerals that come from fresh fruit. And 30 to 90 days would be minimum. And during that time, I would just feed the womb with rich womb healing herbs like Damiana. I believe we have some here. Damiana, red clover, red raspberry leaf. Ginger is very powerful and potent for the womb as well. And just be positive, right? As I said earlier, the innate power and birthright of the feminine is to heal herself and heal others. That's how we heal others, because we have that power. So I'm a firm believer in positive affirmations matched with positive action and sensible, logical action. So the fruit cleanse, 30 to 90 days, and womb healing herbs. For those who don't know Damiana, in Jamaica we called it Ramgo Dashalan. Yes. And your iron healing herbs, you remember?
Right.
So sarsaparilla is very, very, very powerful. You have cheney root, right? You have elderberries, burdock root. These things are very powerful when it comes to cleansing the blood. Kwasi is another one. In Jamaica we call it bitterwood.
Okay.
And that one is very good because it's good at getting things out of the blood, right? So you match your herbs, your herbal intake, your bitters. It's in my book. I have an ebook on shrinking fibroids.
Yeah.
I do. And I recommend that you have 3 sets of herbs in your arsenal. One is the womb healing herbs, which is the Damiana, the red raspberry, the red clover, all of that. The second one is the iron-rich herbs, which is all your blue vervain, your sarsaparilla, your cheney root, all of that. And thirdly, you must have something to cleanse the body of parasites. Remember, parasites are not just worms. They're also foreign microorganisms that we get through central air, through things in the soil, even through our fruits and vegetables, right? Because organic is just a legal word. Organic doesn't mean what they say it means. It's just a list of things that some guys somewhere agreed. They agreed that this can be included or excluded. So don't get too caught up on the word organic. And that is why it's so important to fast regularly and to incorporate parasite cleansing herbs. Quassia is a good one. Rice bitters is a good one. Good cerasy is a good one. So have those 3 sets in your arsenal and you'll be fine.